All right, let's get right into it. You've probably heard this phrase thrown around before: be your own bank. But what does that really actually mean? Today, we're going to break down a financial strategy that completely flips the script on traditional banking and puts you back in the driver's seat. And look, this isn't some brand new, crazy idea. The source material for this explainer makes it really clear that some of the wealthiest families in history, we're talking the Rockefellers, even Walt Disney, have used this exact same concept to build and protect their fortunes. That kind of gets your attention, doesn't it? So, how do they do it? Well, first things first. To be the bank, you have to understand the bank's game. And it's a surprisingly simple model, but one that works incredibly well. For them, that is. Here's how it works. You put your hard-earned money in a savings account, and if you're lucky, you get maybe 1% interest. The bank then turns right around, takes your money, and lends it out for something like a car loan at, let's say, 6%. They're making a 5-point spread on your capital. You literally gave them the product to sell. And that little spread? Oh, it adds up. According to the source, banks are making anywhere from 400 to 1,300% more on your money than you are. It's an amazing business model, but here's the thing. You are on the wrong side of that deal. So what if we could just flip that around? So let's do that. Let's do a little thought experiment. Let's design the absolute perfect bank account from the ground up. If you could wave a magic wand and create your own financial fairy tale, what would it look like? Seriously, forget everything you know about checking and savings accounts. What if your main place to store cash could do all the things you actually wish it could? Okay, just look at this wish list. It pays you a guaranteed interest rate plus a dividend totaling somewhere around 5 to 6% right now. All of that growth is completely tax-free. Your money is safe from lawsuits. It passes on a bigger tax-free benefit when you're gone. You can get your hands on almost all of it whenever you want. And here, this is the one that breaks your brain a little bit. Even when you've borrowed the money, your original deposit keeps compounding as if you never touched it. Yeah, it sounds impossible, right? Too good to be true. So what is this thing? What is this financial vehicle that can pull all of this off? What is this magic money machine that works like the perfect bank? The answer is a dividend-paying whole life insurance policy, and you have to hear me on this is the most important part, it is not your average off-the-shelf policy. It has to be specially designed, specially engineered for one purpose, to function as your own private bank. I know. I can literally hear what you're thinking. Wait a minute. Dave Ramsey, Sue Zorman, every guru out there says whole life insurance is a terrible investment. And you know what? If you're talking about a standard policy, they're not wrong. But that's not what this is. This is the secret sauce right here. These policies are designed completely backwards. The main goal isn't the death benefit. It's all about maximizing your cash value and making it accessible from day one. The entire structure is flipped on its head, which means its function is completely different. Okay, so how do you actually make money like a bank with this thing? How do you create that magical spread that the banks are making, but for yourself? Let's break it down. Step 1, your money sitting in the policy is earning that nice compound interest, say 6%. Step 2, when you need cash for something, you don't withdraw your money. You take a loan from the insurance company and just use your cash as collateral. They charge you a lower simple interest rate, let's call it 4%. Now this is the key. Your money never actually left your account, so your entire balance is still chugging along, compounding at 6%, while you're only paying 4% on the loan. Boom! You've just created a 2% positive spread on money that you are actively using somewhere else. And this really gets to the heart of it all. You know that famous quote from Einstein? He wasn't joking. When you take out a normal loan, you stop earning interest on that money. With this, you get the power of uninterrupted compound interest. You get to earn it even while you're using it. The experts call this the circle of wealth. Your money goes into your personal banking system. When you need it to buy a car, make an investment, whatever, you borrow against your system. Then you pay the loan back to your system. Your capital never stops working for you. You are constantly recycling and recapturing your own money. Now, if you're still a little skeptical, I get it. It sounds different. So let's look at the ultimate proof. Let's just follow the money and see what the biggest financial players do themselves. Let me introduce you to an acronym you've probably never heard before. BOLI. It stands for Bank-Owned Life Insurance, and it's exactly what it sounds like. These are massive whole life insurance policies that the big commercial banks buy on their own executives. And they don't just buy a little bit. In 2019, the top 5 banks in the US held a jaw-dropping $75 billion in these policies. To put that in perspective, that's more than they hold in all of their physical real estate, all their buildings combined. So the billion-dollar question is why? Here's the answer. By law, banks have to keep a certain amount of super safe, stable money on their books. It's called Tier 1 capital. And guess what qualifies? These specially designed life insurance policies. They are considered to be as safe and as reliable as a U.S. Treasury bond. The banks, the very institutions we want to copy, are the #1 buyers of this exact product. So if it's so good, if the banks love it, why hasn't your advisor told you about it? Well, the answer probably comes down to simple incentives. If an agent sells you a regular policy with a $10,000 premium, they might make a $5,500 commission. But to structure that same policy for banking, that commission drops to just $387. That is a massive, massive pay cut. There's just not much financial incentive for most people to even tell you this exists. So we'll just leave you with this final thought. The banks themselves are the biggest customers for this exact product. They use it to safely grow and protect their most critical assets. So why would they ever want you to know that you could do the exact same thing? It's a powerful question and definitely one worth thinking about.